Welcome to our channel. This is a place for real transformation. You do not just watch videos here. You change your life with them. Today's lesson is not just information. It is a complete transformation. We will dive into a system of discipline. It has built some of the world's best companies. It has shaped the most focused people. It comes from one of history's most respected cultures, the Japanese. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt lazy or unfocused? Do you start things but never finish them? Do you set goals but lose motivation? Do you want to be successful and productive, but you do not know where to start? You are not alone. And this video will change that forever. The Japanese see discipline differently. It is not about motivation or mood. For them, it is a way of living. It is a mindset and a daily system. It becomes a habit deep in your bones. You no longer need to try to be disciplined. You become discipline itself. Today, I will explain 7 powerful Japanese rules. These are not just theories or tips. I will explain each rule in simple English. They will have powerful real-life examples. I will show you how to apply them. Even if you have failed in the past, even if you feel lost right now. Every single rule is important. Together, they will rebuild your mindset. They will change your habits and your discipline. So I need you to do one thing. Watch until the very end. One rule may open your mind, but all 7 together will change your life. This is not a motivational speech. This is not a shortcut. This is the truth. And before we begin, subscribe to our channel. Do it now if you want more life-changing videos. Our videos are deeply researched. They are explained in simple English. They do not just motivate you. They guide you. They will help you reach the success you deserve. Let's begin. Rule 1. Kaizen, the discipline of continuous improvement. Kaizen is a very powerful Japanese idea. It means change for the better. But this is not a big change. It is not an overnight transformation. It means making a tiny improvement every day. Let me explain it this way. Imagine you improve by just 1% daily, not 10%. Not 100%, just 1. It sounds very small. But after a year, you are not 365% better. You are 37 times better. That is the power of compound growth. This is the secret behind Japan's success. They became a powerful world economy. Even after World War II destroyed everything, they did not try to fix it all at once. They focused on small changes every day. In factories, in schools, and in homes. One small process improvement. One cleaner desk. One better step in making a product. One more polite interaction with a customer. All of these things added up, and the result was incredible. Japanese companies like Toyota, Sony, and Honda became world leaders. Here is a real example. Toyota is a huge car company. They did not rise to the top with the best cars. They rose to the top because of Kaizen. In Toyota factories, any worker can stop production. Even a new employee can do this. They can stop the entire line. If they notice a problem or have an idea, imagine that. A billion-dollar company, a regular worker can stop everything. Just to suggest a small improvement. That is the power of Kaizen. It respects small, consistent changes. One factory worker shared his story. At first, I did not understand. I did not know why my ideas mattered. But every time I suggested a change, the process improved. I felt proud. I was not just building cars. I was building a better system. That is discipline. That is Kaizen. Now let's talk about you. You do not need to wake up tomorrow as a new person. You do not need to be a millionaire in 30 days. You do not need to change your body in 1 week. You just need to ask one question daily. What can I improve by just 1% today? Maybe you can make your bed. Maybe you can read for 10 minutes. Maybe you can delete a useless app. Maybe you can write down your goals. Maybe you can choose water over soda. The action is small, but the discipline becomes unstoppable. When you apply Kaizen, the pressure is gone. You stop thinking, I failed again. Instead, you start saying this: I am improving every single day. That mindset, that small daily step, is powerful. It will take you to places motivation never could. Kaizen means continuous improvement. One small step is taken every day. It is used by companies like Toyota. They build world-class systems with it. You can use it to improve your own life, your habits, and your mindset forever. Rule 2. Ikigai. Find your purpose and discipline will follow. What if I told you something important? You do not need more motivation. You do not need more discipline tricks. You just need a reason. A strong, meaningful, and emotional reason. A reason to wake up every single morning. This is what the Japanese call Ikigai. What does Ikigai mean? Let's break the word down. Iki means life. Gai means worth or value. So Ikigai is your reason for living. The reason your life has value. It is not just your career. It is not just your passion. It is where 4 powerful things meet. 1. What you love. 2. What you are good at. 3. What the world needs. 4. What you can be paid for. When you find something that checks all 4 boxes, that is your Ikigai. And once you find it, discipline is easy. Because now you are not forcing yourself to work. You are being pulled by something greater. You are not pushing. You are flowing. Let me share the story of Jiro Ono. He is a Japanese sushi chef. He is not just any chef. He is over 90 years old. His restaurant has 3 Michelin stars. People wait months for a reservation. Even Barack Obama said it was the best sushi he ever had. But here is the most powerful part. Jiro wakes up every day before sunrise. He does the same thing he has done for over 70 years. He makes sushi. Most people would ask, is that not boring? Same rice, same fish, same process. But not for Jiro, because his work is his Ikigai. He once said this: even after decades, I feel I have not mastered it. There is always something to improve. I just want to make better sushi today than yesterday. Jiro is not doing this for fame. He is not chasing success. He is chasing meaning. And that is why his discipline is unbreakable. Your why creates natural discipline. If you do not know your purpose, you will struggle. You will hit the snooze button. You will avoid difficult work. You will say, I will start tomorrow. But when you have Ikigai, discipline is instinct. Think about it this way. A soldier does not need motivation to train. He is protecting his country. A mother does not need discipline to care for her baby. That child is her life. An artist does not need to be forced to paint. It is the air they breathe. When you find your Ikigai, you are not pushed. You wake up and move forward because you must. Not because someone told you to, but because your heart demands it. Let's go deep. Here is how to find it. 1. What do you love? Ask yourself what makes you forget time. What could you do for hours without getting bored? What excites you when you talk about it? T2O, what are you good at? Where do you feel confident? Is it writing, teaching, or leading? What do people compliment you on? 3. What does the world need? Look beyond yourself. What problem do you want to solve? Who do you want to help? What impact do you want to create? 4. What can you be paid for? You may love playing guitar. but can you turn that into an income? This is about creating a life of purpose and freedom. Find the sweet spot where all four of these overlap. Even if it is small or not perfect, start there. That is your Ikigai. There is a place in Japan called Okinawa. It has many people who live past 100 years. Researchers asked them for their secret. They did not talk about diet or exercise first. They talked about Ikigai. One man said, "Every day I wake up with something to do, someone to help, a garden to grow, a smile to give. That is why I live." These people do not retire. They do not sit and wait to die. They live with purpose until their final breath. That is not magic. That is discipline driven by Ikigai. You might be thinking, I do not know my Ikigai yet. That is okay. You do not find it overnight. You build it through thought, action, and courage. Here is how you can begin. Start doing more of what excites you. Explore new skills like writing or coding. Volunteer for something meaningful. Build small projects around what you enjoy. Say no to things that feel empty. Say yes to things that feel important. And most importantly, do not chase money. Chase meaning. Because when you create meaning, money often follows. Ikigai is your reason to live. It combines your love, your skill, the world's needs, and your income. When you live with Ikigai, discipline is no longer hard. It becomes your nature. Find your Ikigai, and you will never wake up feeling empty again. This is what Japanese discipline is truly about. It is not about being strict. It is about being connected to what matters most. Rule 3. Shitsuke, the discipline of character and self-control. Let me show you a part of Japanese culture that is often missed. It is not hidden, it is just so deeply part of their daily life. They do not even see it as special. It is called Shitsuke. It means more than just manners or behavior. Shitsuke is the deep discipline of character. It is about how you present yourself, how you treat others when nobody is watching, how you live without rewards or punishments, just you and your inner code. In simple terms, Shitsuke is self-discipline. It becomes your second nature. It is not something you do. It is something you are. It is not about rules on a wall. It is about values in your soul. This is taught from childhood in Japan, not by shouting or fear, but by repetition, observation, and ritual. Shitsuke teaches that discipline is not pressure, it is practice. Let's look inside a Japanese elementary school. Every morning, children arrive in clean uniforms. They wear a polite smile. They carry a cloth to clean their school. Yes, that is correct. In Japan, students clean their own classrooms. They clean the toilets and hallways. They even clean the lunch areas. There are no janitors. No one is paid to clean up after them. The goal is not just to clean school. The goal is to build character. By doing this every day from a young age, students learn respect. They learn responsibility for their own mess. They learn the discipline to act without being told. And here is the most powerful part. They do not complain. For them, this is normal. This is Shitsuke in action, a daily habit that shapes your identity. Most people struggle with discipline. Here is how Shitsuke fixes that. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most people fail at discipline for one reason. They treat it like a temporary tool, something to use only when they need it. You eat clean only before a big event. You study only the night before a test. You work hard only when your boss is watching. That is not discipline. That is a performance. Shitsuke teaches the opposite. It says if something is worth doing, do it with care. Do it with pride and consistency, even when no one is watching. Because real success does not come from short efforts. It comes from building habits of excellence in silence. You become great by doing small things well every day. Let's look at a traditional Japanese tea ceremony. It is one of the most peaceful rituals in the world. Every movement is done with precision. How the host walks, how the tea is poured, how the cup is held. Now here is the amazing part. This is not just about tea, it is about mindset. The tea master trains for decades. They practice bowing, pouring, and folding a cloth over and over again. Why? Because every movement reflects your inner discipline. You learn to do everything with care, with presence, and with respect. And when that mindset enters the tea ceremony, it enters your life. That is Shitsuke. You may not go to a Japanese school. You may never perform a tea ceremony, but you are already building your character. Every single day, every time you are on time or late, you are training yourself. Every time you clean your space or leave it messy, you are shaping yourself. Every time you speak with respect or anger, you are building a version of you. You are becoming who you practice being. That is the heart of Shitsuke. It is not about rules. It is about repetition. You do not need to force discipline. You need to design your world to make it automatic. Here is how you can start building Shitsuke today. Respect small tasks. Do not wait for big moments to act professionally. Fold your clothes neatly. Put your phone away. Wipe your desk after use. These tiny habits are where real discipline begins. Repeat with care. Do things the right way, even when they are boring. If you brush your teeth, do it with focus. If you are eating, chew with awareness. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Do not pass on responsibility. Stop waiting for someone else to fix things. Whether it is a physical mess or a work issue, start with your part. Shitsuke means taking ownership, not making excuses. Teach by doing, not by preaching. If you are a parent, teacher, or leader, be the example. Do not just tell others to be disciplined. Let your actions teach louder than your words. The difference between a winner and a champion is not talent. It is not luck or motivation. It is Shitsuke. It is that invisible character. That internal system. That daily structure. That quiet pride in doing things the right way. Not once, but every single time. Shitsuke is the Japanese art of building discipline. It is learned through daily habits and repetition. Japanese children clean their schools to learn this. Tea masters train for decades to master it. You can apply Shitsuke by respecting small tasks. Own your habits and lead by example. Shitsuke turns you into a person who is disciplined, naturally, powerfully, and silently. Rule 4. Kaikaku, the discipline of radical change. There comes a time in life when small changes are not enough, when routines become traps, when consistency becomes comfort. And the only way to grow is to do something radical. In Japanese, this is called Kaikaku. It means reform or transformation, a complete change of direction, not small edits or slight adjustments, but breaking the system and building a better one. Kaikaku is the discipline of bold change, not because you feel like it, but because your life demands it. What is Kaikaku? Let's be very clear. Kaikaku is not a panic move. It is not quitting because things are hard. Kaikaku is when you realize your current path is not working. Your habits and lifestyle are no longer helping you grow. And you have the discipline to do something drastic. It could mean leaving a toxic job. Not because it is easy, but because it is destroying your future. It could mean deleting every distraction from your phone, even if it feels painful. It could mean changing your friends, your diet, or your schedule, because the life you want is not possible with the habits you have now. Kaikaku is not for the lazy or comfortable. It is for the courageous. Let's look at a legendary company, Nintendo. Most people know Nintendo for games like Mario and Zelda, but few know the story of radical discipline behind it. Nintendo was founded in 1889. Do you know what they first made? Playing cards. Handmade for Japanese families. For nearly 70 years, they stayed in that business. But by the 1950s, demand was shrinking. This was their Kaikaku moment. They could have kept making cards. They could have stayed in their comfort zone. But instead, their leaders took a huge risk. They started experimenting with toys, then electronic games and consoles. And by the 1980s, they launched the Nintendo Entertainment System. They completely changed the gaming world. Today, Nintendo is worth over $60 billion. It all happened because they had the discipline to say something. Our old ways are not our future. Let's destroy what is comfortable and create what is necessary. That is Kaikaku. In Rule 1, we talked about Kaizen, slow and steady improvement. But sometimes Kaizen is too slow. Sometimes you do not have 10 years to change. Sometimes you need to do something drastic today before you lose more time, energy, and chances. That is where Kaikaku comes in. It is the moment you stop making excuses. You stop saying someday. You say, I have had enough. The old version of me ends here. A new one begins now. Let me tell you about a man who practiced Kaikaku. He was 38 years old. He had a decent job and a family. From the outside, life looked fine. But inside, he was deeply unhappy. He was overweight, addicted to junk food, and depressed. He kept saying he would change slowly. He bought books and made resolutions. But nothing worked. He was trying to fix a broken system by staying in it, until one day, something snapped. He took a week off work. He shut off his phone. He threw out all the processed food in his kitchen. He canceled every useless subscription. He started waking up at 5 a.m. and walking for 90 minutes. He wrote in a journal. He changed everything. Was it easy? No. Was it permanent? Not at first. But it was the turning point. That is Kaikaku, the decision to burn the old plan and draw a new one. How to know if you need Kaikaku? Ask yourself these questions right now. Am I repeating the same problems every month? Am I improving or just surviving? Am I blaming my environment instead of changing it? Am I living with energy or just existing? Am I waiting for the right time to start over? If you answered yes to most of these, you need Kaikaku. And here is the truth. You already know what needs to change. You have known for a long time. You are just waiting for the pain to get worse. But why wait? Why stay stuck when freedom is one bold decision away? How to practice Kaikaku even if you are scared. Kaikaku is scary. It requires courage. But you do not need to change everything overnight. You just need to change the right thing boldly. Here is how to start. Identify what is no longer working. Be brutally honest. Is it your routine, your friends, your job, your health? Name it. Commit to one radical change. Not 10 small ones. Just one be-old action. Quit the thing you have been putting up with. Start the thing you have been avoiding. Let go of your past identity. Kaikaku requires you to say, I am no longer who I was. Even if people do not understand, you are not here to stay the same, you are here to evolve. Create structure around the new you. Discipline needs support. Design your environment to support the new you. New schedule, new tools, new standards. Be brave enough to break your own patterns. Discipline is not just doing more. Sometimes it is about doing something completely different. Kaikaku reminds us you are not a tree. You can move, you can transform, you can reprogram your entire life if you stop protecting your comfort and start protecting your future. You do not need to be perfect or fearless. You just need to be done with your excuses and ready for a new chapter. Kaikaku means radical reform, not slow change, but bold transformation, used by companies like Nintendo to pivot and dominate, applied by people tired of repeating the same failures. It is the courage to break what is comfortable and create what is necessary. You do not grow by staying in systems that limit you. You grow by changing them. Rule 5. Hansei, the discipline of honest self-reflection. In a world obsessed with success, there is one skill most people avoid, one practice that makes strong people stronger and makes weak people disappear. It is self-reflection. But in Japan, this is not optional. It is a daily discipline and a cultural value. It is called Hansei. It means to reflect, to examine, and to take responsibility without any excuses. What is Hansei? Hansei is not just thinking about what happened. It is not casual journaling. It is not saying, I will do better next time. Hansei is brutally honest self-evaluation. It is the discipline of stopping everything and asking yourself these questions. Where did I go wrong? What mistake did I make? What did I learn? How can I stop this from happening again? Quote, in Japanese culture, even after success, people perform Hansei. Because the goal is not perfection, the goal is growth. And growth comes from reflection. Let's go inside one of Japan's most respected companies, Toyota. Toyota is known for quality and innovation. But do you know what happens after every major project, even a successful one? They hold a Hansei meeting. And here is the most shocking part. Even if the project was a total success, they must find flaws. It is not optional, it is required. Because in Toyota's culture, if a team says, we did everything perfectly, they are questioned. Why? Because there is always room for improvement. And if you do not find your mistakes will find you. That is the heart of Hansei. Progress dies when ego grows. And discipline begins when you are brutally honest with yourself. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about us. Why do so many people stay stuck for years? It is not because they lack talent or opportunity. It is not even because they are lazy. It is because they lack Hansei. They do not take time to pause and reflect, to admit that a failure was their fault, that a delay was their habit, that a broken relationship was their pattern. Instead, they blame, they distract, they numb. They say, it is not my fault. It is bad luck. But here is the truth. You cannot improve what you do not confront, and you cannot confront what you keep denying. In a Japanese high school, a student ranked second in his class. Most parents would celebrate, but his teacher asked one question. Where did you lose the first mark? The student was shocked, not because the teacher was angry, but because the teacher believed in Hansei. It was not punishment, it was discipline, a way to grow beyond success. Later, the student said that moment changed him. I learned that even when I win, I must ask how I can be better. That is Hansei. That is how champions are built. Not through praise, but through reflection. Discipline is not just action, it is correction. And correction comes from awareness. Think of your life as a train. Kaizen improves the engine. Ikigai gives you a reason to ride. Shitsuke keeps you on the tracks. Kaikaku lets you change direction. But without Hansei, you will never know if you are going the wrong way. You will just keep going faster in the wrong direction. Hansei is the mirror, the checkpoint, the moment of truth. This is not about writing your feelings. It is about becoming a better person through honest reflection. Here is how to do it. End every day with reflection. Before sleeping, ask these questions. What did I do well today? Where did I waste time? Quote. What did I avoid? What am I proud of? What must I change? Spend 5 to 10 minutes. Be specific. Be real. Turn reflection into action. Reflection without change is useless. If you wasted time on your phone, set app limits tomorrow. If you were rude to someone, apologize in the morning. If you skipped your workout, schedule it like a meeting. Teach others through Hansei. If you are a parent, boss, or teacher, teach people to reflect. After a mistake, do not ask, why did you fail? Quote, ask, what did you learn? How will you do it next time? This builds emotional maturity, and emotional maturity leads to emotional discipline. Perform monthly Hansei checkpoints. Once a month, take 1 to 2 hours alone. Reflect on the last 30 days. Ask yourself, did I grow? Did I repeat bad habits? Am I becoming someone I respect? What must I fix immediately? Use this time to reset and refocus. It will make you wiser because you will learn faster. It will make you humble because you will stop blaming. It will make you stronger because you will see weakness early. And it will make you disciplined because you will never let the same mistake win twice. This is how the Japanese become masters of their craft. They look back so they can move forward better. Hansei means deep, honest, and consistent self-reflection, practiced by companies like Toyota and taught in schools. It is not about guilt. It is about growth. Without reflection, discipline is blind repetition. With reflection, discipline is intelligent evolution. Rule 6. Gaman, the discipline of endurance and silent power. There are 2 kinds of strength in the world, the loud kind, with muscles and shouting, and the silent kind, enduring pain and staying calm in chaos. Gaman is the second kind, and it is one of the greatest forms of discipline you can master. Gaman comes from 2 Japanese characters. Ga means self. Man means to tolerate or endure. So together, Gaman means to endure with dignity, to face difficulty with patience and inner strength. But it is not just about patience. It is about controlled strength, the kind of strength that does not need to scream to be real. We live in a world where people are taught to show everything. You feel angry, you explode. You feel tired, you quit. You feel pain, you complain. You face failure, you blame. But the Japanese have practiced something different for generations. They face hard times, and they do not break. They do not make noise. They do not beg for sympathy. They quietly endure and keep moving forward. That is Gaman. It is not weakness or suppression. It is mastery of self. On March 11, 2011, a massive earthquake and tsunami hit Japan. Over 20,000 lives were lost. Cities were destroyed. The world watched in shock. But what truly stunned everyone was the response. There was no looting, no screaming, no chaos. Instead, there were long, quiet lines for food. People shared water, neighbors helped each other, children bowed to emergency workers. Old men carried their own bags after losing everything. No one was asking, "Why me?" They simply said, "We must move forward together." That is Gaman in its purest form. The discipline to suffer with strength, to carry pain without passing it to others, to remain calm even when your world collapses. Discipline is not just what you do when life is easy. It is who you become when life is unfair. When your plans fail, when someone betrays you, when you are tired, scared, and broken. Do you panic? Do you complain? Do you give up? Or do you sit with your pain, breathe through it, and say this: "I will survive this, and I will not let it destroy who I am"? Gaman is not pretending things are fine. It is not letting pain make you someone you are not. That is real discipline. That is real strength. In 2019, at a marathon relay, something unbelievable happened. A 19-year-old runner fell and fractured her leg. She could not stand or run. But her team was counting on her. So what did she do? She crawled on her hands and knees for over 200 meters, bleeding on the asphalt. She crawled to her teammates so the race could continue. The audience was in tears. But she never cried. She never stopped. When asked why she did not quit, she said simply this: "I had to pass the sash. That was my duty." This is Gaman, the discipline to keep your promise, even when your body wants to collapse. You may not be in a marathon or a tsunami, but you face pain too. And now you must learn to endure it with power, not panic. Here is how. Sit with discomfort. Instead of escaping, next time you feel anxiety or sadness, do not run to your phone. Do not cover it with food or scrolling. Just sit, breathe, and observe. Tell yourself, "I am strong enough to feel this," and survive. The more you practice this, the more unshakable you become. Speak less, endure more, and complain never. Gaman teaches you to suffer with grace. It does not mean being silent forever, but it means not turning every problem into a performance. Ask yourself, do I talk about my problems more than I solve them? Strength is not loud, it is controlled. Choose dignity over drama. Life is not fair, people will hurt you, but you must choose how you carry that pain. Gaman says, even in suffering, carry yourself with honor, with kindness and with peace, because how you suffer becomes your legacy. Remember, storms pass, but character stays. Pain is temporary, but what you build inside yourself through that pain is permanent. When you practice Gaman, you do not just get through hard times. You become someone the hard times can never destroy. It will make you calmer in a noisy world. It will make you stronger when others collapse. It will give you respect because people admire grace. And it will give you inner peace because you will stop running from pain and start using it. Gaman is not just about patience. It is about becoming undefeatable without raising your voice. Gaman is the Japanese discipline of endurance and silent strength. It means staying calm and graceful even in pain or failure. Practiced during disasters and taught through culture, Gaman makes you emotionally powerful and spiritually mature. It is not loud or proud, but it is the kind of strength that changes everything. Rule 7. Osoji, the discipline of cleanliness and inner order. If your mind is full of stress, if your life feels chaotic, if you cannot focus, think, or breathe, then maybe the problem is not your goals. Maybe the problem is your space, your habits, and your surroundings. Because the final and deepest truth of Japanese discipline is this: outer order creates inner peace. And the way they master that is through Osoji, the ancient Japanese practice of cleaning, decluttering, and spiritual purification through physical order. But let me be clear, Osoji is not about tidying. It is about clearing space to become your highest self. The word Osoji simply means cleaning. But in Japan, it is not just a task. It is a ritual, a philosophy, a mental transformation. Osoji is a form of daily meditation through physical action. It is the belief that a clean room is sacred, that a clear desk is powerful, that a home without clutter is a foundation. A foundation for clarity, focus, and mental strength. Let's take one of the most respected services in the world. The Japanese bullet train, or Shinkansen. Thousands of passengers use these trains daily. And yet, in just 7 minutes, a small team cleans the entire train. Every seat is straightened, every table wiped, every piece of trash is removed. It is called the 7-minute miracle. But here is what most people miss. The workers BOW before they enter each train. Not to impress, but to show respect. To the passengers, the space, and the work. This is Osoji. This is the mindset that says, the way I treat this space is the way I treat my life. That is discipline, that is pride, that is power. If you feel lost or mentally stuck, you are probably cluttered. Your room is a mess. Your phone has 1,000 notifications. Your desktop has 400 icons. Your closet is full of clothes you do not wear. Your mind is full of thoughts you do not need. And this chaos slowly kills your discipline. Because when you live in clutter, your brain cannot focus. It is constantly managing noise and decisions. And the more clutter you have, the weaker your mind becomes. Osoji fixes this. By cleaning your space, you learn to clean your life. A young man once joined a Buddhist monastery in Japan. He expected to meditate and study wisdom. Instead, for the first year, he was told to clean. That is it. No books, no silence, just clean. Floors, toilets, walls, shoes, windows. At first, he was frustrated and angry. But slowly, something changed. He said, "As I cleaned the dirt from the floor, I noticed the dirt in my mind. As I organized the shelves, my thoughts began to align. As I scrubbed the stains, I realized the anger I was holding. And one day, without anyone teaching me, I found peace." This is Osoji. Not cleaning to look good, but cleaning to become clear. You do not need to be a monk. You just need to respect your space. Realize that it reflects your soul. Here is how to start. Create a sacred morning cleaning ritual. Every morning, before you touch your phone, clean something. Spend 10 to 15 minutes. Make your bed perfectly. Wipe your desk. Open your windows. This small act will ground your mind. It tells you, today, I control my world. Remove 5 things you do not need. Every single day, get rid of something. 1 item you never use. 1 file you do not need. 1 app that wastes your time. 1 belief that no longer helps you. Osoji is not just about cleaning things. It is about cleaning energies. Make space for the life you say you want. Build a zero-clutter workspace. Where you work is where your mind lives. So make it clean, quiet, and powerful. No distractions, no junk, just clarity. When you sit there, you will feel focused automatically. Perform a full Osoji ritual monthly. Once a month, do a complete cleansing of your space. Vacuum every corner. Dust every shelf. Organize your wardrobe. Sort, donate, and discard. As you clean, tell yourself this: I am not just cleaning this room. I am cleaning my spirit. I am preparing myself for a higher level of life. That is the discipline of Osoji. It teaches you that discipline begins in your environment. It teaches you that your external world reflects your internal world. It teaches you that beauty and clarity can be created, not found. It teaches you to respect everything you own and reject everything you do not need. This is why the Japanese are admired for their purity of thought. Because they live with order, and order leads to focus, and focus leads to greatness. Osoji is the Japanese discipline of cleaning and respecting your space. It is practiced in homes, schools, and even bullet trains. It is more than cleaning. It is a form of spiritual purification. A clean space leads to a clear mind. A clear mind leads to focused action. Osoji is how you train your discipline to start the moment you wake up. We have just walked through 7 powerful Japanese rules of discipline. These are not just ideas, they are living principles that have shaped a nation. But now, the real question is about you. Will you continue living the same way, distracted, unfocused, and waiting? Or will you take these 7 rules and make them your own? Because discipline is not about being strict or punished. Discipline is about living with purpose, strength, and dignity. It is about becoming the kind of person who cannot be broken. And here is the truth. If you apply even one of these rules today, your life will change. If you apply all 7, your life will never be the same. So take these lessons. Live them. Breathe them. Build a life you can look back on with pride. A life of discipline and meaning. Because one day, time will test you. And in that moment, motivation will not save you. Excuses will not protect you. Only discipline will. This was not just a video. This was your wake-up call. Now, it is your choice. If you want more life-changing lessons in simple English, subscribe to our channel. Watch our other videos. Share this with someone who needs it. And most importantly, apply what you have learned. Because the world changes when you ACT. Thank you for watching. And remember, discipline is freedom. Discipline is strength. Discipline is the path to the life you deserve.